One day, a man sat down to have some water, but no matter how much he drank, his thirst wouldn't go away. It was strange, he kept drinking, yet the feeling of dryness in his throat only grew worse. Then, out of nowhere, a lake appeared before him. Without thinking, he licked his lips. And before anyone could stop him, he ran toward the water, almost like he was possessed. He plunged into the lake, gulping down the water as if he hadn't had a drink in years. But as soon as the man realized something was terribly wrong, he screamed for help. By the time anyone reacted, it was too late. He was already lying there, lifeless. His body had dried up, like a mummy, as though all the moisture had been drained from it. Zai, who had witnessed everything, was paralyzed with shock. In a panic, he ran home, but when he got there, the situation was even worse. His wife and children were drinking water, desperately, like they couldn't get enough. The strange event he had just witnessed flashed before his eyes. Without hesitation, he told his family to stop drinking and rushed them to the hospital. But by then, it was already too late. The next morning, the lake was filled with bodies, floating in every direction. The police initially suspected that the water was contaminated, but after testing, experts found no toxins. Instead, they discovered something horrifying: waterborne parasites. While the authorities were still trying to figure out what was going on, another chilling report came in. A family was found dead in their bathtub. The police rushed to the scene, breaking down the bathroom door, only to be confronted with a nightmare. The bodies of the victims were crawling with long, wriggling worms. Experts later identified these parasites as mutated threadworms, once only found in insects, but now adapted to living inside humans. These worms fed on their host's body, causing an intense, uncontrollable thirst. The host would drink endlessly, trying to quench the thirst that never subsided. And once the worms reproduced, they would crawl out of the body, causing it to explode from the inside. The news spread like wildfire, causing mass panic. Hospitals were overwhelmed with people seeking help. Experts explained that the parasites couldn't be removed through surgery. The only solution was to take antiparasitic medication. But just as people started to find hope, a new case emerged. A girl who took the medication began convulsing violently. Yellow liquid poured from her mouth, and after a few minutes of struggling, she died. With no other options, the hospital quarantined the infected patients. But they soon realized a terrifying truth: the worms spread rapidly. If one person was infected, everyone around them was at risk. The infection was like a disease of the mind. Once one person started showing symptoms, it wouldn't be long before those nearby began to suffer as well. Desperate to protect his family, Zai made the difficult decision to flee the city. But as they tried to escape, their thirst became unbearable. It was as though something evil had taken over them. The hunger for water was all-consuming, and Zai could see the parasites' grip tightening around his family. It was clear now, they were all infected.